guys, last time we showed you the before and after of the bathroom of the upstairs, and today I'm very happy to show you the before and after of the upstairs kitchen. Come on through this 3 feet thick walls into which is actually an amazingly bright and airy kitchen. Now you have to remember, when we got this place, the top floor was very much gutted. However, this room where we're standing in now, the kitchen and the bathroom, really had the plumbing and electricity done already. And so it was easy for us to actually envision what we wanted to put in here. The most interesting thing for me was that Colin and I, when we started thinking about the rooms, we started designing the rooms, but we didn't yet have a full design plan in mind for this floor or for the whole castle actually. And so when we started designing this, we learned a lot because we designed them independently and we didn't have a design language yet. It was really interesting to us to see that we still kind of came in and tried to bring certain things together without actively thinking about it.
That being said, we are going to show you the before. We're going to step back in time, show you a little bit about the before, kind of like we did with the jungle bathroom. And then we're going to walk you through the after, and we're going to kind of walk you through a little bit of our mindset behind designing each and every part of the top floor kitchen. First thing that we're going to work on is the kitchen up here. So come in.
We're just going through something like 4-foot walls.
Walls are very thick and the door is very small, but look how bright, beautiful this kitchen is. So we have automatically, we have all the sockets laid out for where we're going to put all the appliances, because there's not a ton of options that we can do, mostly because this window and this beam and the brick and then this fireplace. But also, if you turn around, you'll see that this roof is kind of almost like a pentagonal shape, and so this only goes up to what, about 5 feet, so we can't really do a ton over here.
It says that going.
Oh, well, somebody's going to do the exact measurements. But if you look at this wall, it goes up a lot higher, but you can see that it's not quite an A-frame, but it's like I said, like this pentagon shape. So we have to be a little bit creative with what we're going to do. So this will be where all of our main cooking, our sink, our oven's going to go. And I think what we'll do is we're going to try to put a washer and dryer unit here, maybe, we're talking about it. And then we'll have a little bit of shelving right here, but this will be the really cool part because we're going to make a custom built bench that goes from here to here. And then you'll have your bench and your table. In the benches, you'll have places for storage. And then we're going to have the bench actually go up like this and down. And I know it sounds hard to visualize, but it's going to be a square bench and there's going to be lighting coming down. So it's kind of like
you're creating a little nook.
You're creating a little nook. So you'll be sitting here and above you will be the lighting and you'll be in this little square box. And it'll be very cool. It'll be very cozy. Also, I want to show you the kitchen. It's coming together too. This was one of the first things that we actually ever bought brand new for the castle, was this whole kitchen setup behind me. But now it's finally being installed. And you can see it's coming together very, very well. And then Tommy, our amazing I always forget this, woodsmith, wood crafting, just an amazing guy overall. He's going to build a custom seating area back there that kind of mimics the curvatures of this. Because as you can see, I'm not sure if you can see it, but this is curved. It's a very natural kind of flowy design element to this room, which I thought was really cool. The floors are obviously very, very dirty, but they'll be polished up and they're going to be very dark. And then the wood top, which I'll show you, is very dark. And I figured that we could go really dark in this room because it's a really bright room. You have the 2 skylights there and there, and then you have this big light here. And so you can get away with doing a little bit darker, a little bit moodier. This is one of the only rooms upstairs that has brass accents. Most of the other accents up here for metal are matte black. And I couldn't be happier. I mean, it's gonna be, I think I just don't know what to do with the color of the walls. I mean, I have a backsplash going in here, which will be like kind of a traditional, it's called the basket weave black and white marble. That'll go up here. And then I have this really beautiful brass accent faucet But I think for the ceilings and everything, I'm just gonna do a really bright decorator white. So, because everything's already so dark, and I don't really know what other color I would do. But yeah, I'm excited about it.
The second room in the house that we finished, or we have finished, nearly finished, let's say 94%. We tried to bring in something from the bathroom in here. We basically have the same green shades in here, a little bit more vibrant than what we had originally in the bathroom. And this is so that you have a little bit more energy in this room. Where the bathroom is very peaceful, this should be just giving you a little bit of sense of balance, bringing the outside in as well, because this is such a beautiful light room, similar to the bathroom, that we could get away with some darker colors. The natural element is then also repeated when you think about the wooden countertop, which, by the way, was actually really light when we got it, and we had to stain it, I think, about 15 times to get it to this color, and then wax it and seal it and make sure that it can be used, but that's what we have there now. We've got brass and copper accents everywhere that basically just kind of brings in this luxury feel a little bit as well. We also put some homages to the original kitchen in here. Now, keep in mind, we're on the top floor, so there was no kitchen obviously on the top floor. So what we did is we brought in a kitchen sink, no, not a kitchen sink. We brought in a farmhouse sink, so a very deep, nice sink that you would have seen maybe 100, 150 years ago. We also brought in the backsplash that emulates a little bit what a backsplash at the time would have looked like. One interesting fact here, well, not interesting fact, one thing that we learned, I should say, is this tub here. Beautiful tub, we really love it, but this was form over function. We actually figured out by utilizing this kitchen, we may need to replace this. Doesn't really work for day-to-day living. Looks good, but not everything. Something else that I actually want to point out is that there is no extractor fan here. That's because A, we've got 6-foot wide walls, so it would be a nightmare trying to cut through, but also you can't really cut through this because it's a historic building. And so we found a solution here, which is basically an extractor fan that is within the hob. It's integrated into the hob, which was a really interesting find, and we didn't even know something like this existed. Now, something else here as well. This room, again, similar to the bathroom what we've seen, has 2 different height ceilings. So on one side, you've got this height, which actually is perfect for a kitchen, your upper cabinets and everything. On the other side, it's basically up to here, so we couldn't really fit any kitchen on the other side. So this is the only side where we can fit a kitchen. When you look up, you see a lot of plants. The biophilic design element really comes through here again. We try to bring in a couple of things that we found around the castle. For example, this big old jugs that you see up here. They came from the original kitchen, and it just all brings it really nicely together. Now, something else that we did here as well, when we had to put up the floorboards to bring in the new pipes for the heating system, we didn't throw them away, but we actually utilized them around the windows and around frames of everything, around the door, for example, as well. So we're trying to recycle everything that we can within the building. And they were in really good shape. The only reason that we had to bring them up is that we wanted to replace the floor with something more sturdy for a kitchen, which basically meant that we put in some tiles. But again, the tiles are looking very similar to wood as well, to bring the natural elements in as well. This room, similar to nearly all the rooms in the castle, has a fireplace, a beautiful marble fireplace actually. It was all cleaned out, but it's not functioning, meaning we kept the fireplace so that nobody actually does a fire in here, but it really just has a nice feeling to have something like this as a focal point within an old kitchen. Now, I do know what you're thinking. This color doesn't match anything else in the room. We know we got this one at an auction and it's slightly an off-green, so we have to figure out what we're going to do with this one here. But the idea of having a chair here, I think that really kind of works, because not only can I sit next to the beautiful fireplace, but I also sit directly next to this really interesting window, which was here, and it's basically a little bit like a window seat where you can see the countryside, beautiful, and you have a beautiful view of the kitchen as well. You can even converse with the people if somebody is cooking or if somebody's sitting on the table, and yeah, it's just a very nice, relaxing space to have. Some of you might have noticed that the mirror that we have in here is the same Japanese style of wabi-sabi that we have in the bathroom, because we want to make sure that the different rooms talk to each other. Plus, it brings in the feeling of kind of like water and flowing, and which kind of goes extremely well with the countryside and with the whole theme in this kitchen as well. Right, for all the Americans, in Europe we're doing something which is called concealed appliances. So we're hiding our appliances. We did the same thing over here. So behind this door, for example, you do have a fridge. Now this is not a big fridge like in America. This is also on the second, the kitchen, so we didn't need a huge fridge here. It's perfectly fine. Plus, it fits with the height of the wall that we have here. Now we couldn't put any upper cabinets here anyway, and this perfectly works with this. Another really exciting thing, and just exciting for me, I love the Great British Baking Show, and in that show they have this really weird ovens where the door actually hides away when you open it, and I was able to get one of those. I'm very happy about this. Let me see. Oh yes, and the dishwasher is here as well. So basically also concealed, just nicely hidden away so that it's a very nice and clean finish in the kitchen. You can see from the height of the ceiling here what we had to contend with. I mentioned it earlier, we really couldn't put any uppers on this side, which meant we were restricted by putting our fridge and oven on this side. And then we had to design basically breakfast nooks so that it all works together and talks to each other. And what we really wanted to do here is to mirror the curves that we have in the original kitchen that you've just seen. And so we basically matched this curve perfectly. So when I'm sitting behind here and we're sitting directly in the middle, I'm sitting opposite the other corner, which now nicely balances the whole room out. Something else which is really exciting, so this table that I have, what I'm sitting on at the moment, is petrified wood. Colin and I bought this years and years ago outside of San Francisco, and we always intended to make a table out of it. We only bought the top, and we brought the top over, didn't quite know what we can do with this in form of bringing it into the kitchen, but because it's petrified wood, it kind of goes with the whole theme. And so Tommy, our carpenter, was just amazing and built underneath a matching kind of pillar that we could put this on, and now it just fits perfectly into this area with the curves and everything. We can fit about 5 people around this table and, well, just relax and hang out. Our great upholsterer didn't tell us what she was going to do. She had some fabric left over. She saw this kitchen and she basically created a perfectly fitting seat cushion with the materials that she had, and she created a couple of cushions as well, where she had the green elements in this room but also bring in some of the pinks that we wanted to have. Light pink and green is just a perfect balance, and we were so happy when we came in because it was like she was reading our mind, and it just is a very relaxing space to be in. I just love the space. I hope you do too.